How's it going, guys? West Cali King here, and today I am back with another sports discussion. And today I'm gonna be talking about the 49ers, yes. Okay, but before I get into it, let me talk a little bit about the gameplay. It is some more Rocket League, and at first it's just a few online games, and then it's straight into season mode. I do lose in season mode because I put the bots on too difficult, okay? But one of the things I don't like is that the gameplay I offer on my channel is not as good as other channels. I have not been to GameStop. I'm probably going to go to GameStop this weekend and I will buy some other game. I do not know which game I will buy. And I did pre-order the Black Ops 3 beta. So I will definitely be uploading some Black Ops 3 beta, okay? So let's get right into the team discussion. The 49ers. This week I had to choose between two teams. The two teams were the 49ers and the Cowboys. I went with the 49ers. So why did I go with the 49ers? Well, the 49ers have always been a team that I have liked. I've never hated the 49ers. I am a pretty good, I kind of like the Raiders a lot, but I still like the 49ers. I don't root for them, when it's in the playoffs or whatever, but I like the 49ers. I've liked some of the previous players. Of course, everybody knows Jerry Rice, and my favorite 49er player of all time, Ronnie Lott. Yes, I am a very big Ronnie Lott fan. But let's get into some of the positives and negatives. Okay, this team, I feel like it has mostly negatives. Everybody probably agrees with me. There are mostly negatives that come with this team. Okay, so the negatives, their biggest negatives are the loss of players. So if you have been keeping up with NFL Network and basically anything to do with NFL, you would know that the 49ers have lost so many players. Players including Patrick Willis, Chris Borland, Justin Smith, just to name a few. I'll get into some more later, but okay. So the loss of players, Patrick Willis is probably the biggest loss to them, okay? He wasn't even that old. He was only around 29 or 30 years old. And this is some of Patrick Willis' career stats, okay? He's had 950 tackles and 53 pass defense, okay? So this guy he's very good in coverage, okay? He'll cover tight ends and wide receivers too, slot wide receivers. And he has 950 tackles, so he'll stop the run for you. Patrick Willis was a very great player, and it is sad that the 49ers lost him, okay? On to another player, Chris Borland. So Chris Borland didn't have a lot of sacks. He only had about 1 sack and about 2 interceptions. So he wasn't going after the quarterback, but what was he going after? He was going against the running back, okay? He was very good in the run game. He had 107 tackles. So he was a very good run stopper. And now let's move on to Justin Smith. So Justin Smith wasn't an electrifying player, but he was very consistent, okay? He had 16 forced fumbles in his career, 87 sacks in his career, and about 800 tackles in his career. So this is a very consistent defensive end, okay? He was a very good run stuffer, okay? And that's what the Niners what they were really known for, stopping the run. They would stop your run, and so when you would have to go, you couldn't run the ball on them, so you would have to pass the ball, and that's when their free safeties and cornerbacks would take advantage of you forcing the ball deep down the field. So they were very good at stopping the run. So let's move on to some of the offensive players that they lost, okay? Some of the offensive players that they lost were Mike Iupati, but I don't really want to get into his stats. And then some other left tackle that recently, not retired, but he's stepping away for around a year. But perhaps the biggest offensive loss is Frank Gore, okay? Frank Gore wasn't very good. He was very good, but he wasn't amazing, okay? So he had 11,000 career yards, okay? So he was very good at running the ball. He averaged 4.5 yards per run, actually. So 4.5 yards per run. So every time he ran the ball, he would get you half a first down. So you give him the ball twice, he would get you a first down, okay? And he averaged 74 yards per game. He rushed 74 yards per game. So that is pretty good. And he had 64 career touchdowns. So he wasn't getting touchdowns, but he was getting first downs for you. And he had 81 rush attempts for 20 plus yards. So he did break loose every now and then, okay? So let's move on to something that's kind of positive and kind of negative, which would be Colin Kaepernick. Okay, so Colin Kaepernick is kind of an iffy. I mean, he didn't have a great season, but then again, they forced him to be a pocket passing quarterback, which he is not really used to. He is more of a rollout, look for somebody down the field and then throw it, or just take the ball and run with it. Okay, so he had 10 interceptions last season. That is the most interceptions he's had in his career. Why? Because they made him a pocket passing quarterback. He had an 86 rating. Okay, so that isn't amazing, but you know, he was good. He was decent. He was a good, decent quarterback, and he had around 3,300 passing yards. So he wasn't breaking the stats book, but that is pretty good for a quarterback. And he had 19 passing touchdowns. Okay, so he did deliver a lot of touchdowns. He did find receivers. Okay, but I think Colin Kaepernick is more of positive, because they forced him to be a pocket passing quarterback, which he is not. He is the type of quarterback that rolls out and finds someone deep down the field. So Colin Kaepernick will go back to what he used to be. He's going to start rolling out more, which I definitely think will improve his game. But another reason why I don't think Kaepernick had a very good year is because who were his weapons, okay? Crabtree's very slow. Anquan Bolden's very slow. The only fast threat that he had to pass it to was Vernon Davis, and he's a tight end. He doesn't have very reliable arms. So if they can get Colin Kaepernick some better wide receivers, I think Colin Kaepernick is a positive. Okay, so that is it for today. These are the positives. I will be uploading the schedule. I will be going the schedule. The positives, like who do I think they will beat, who do I think they will lose to. So stay tuned for that. And until next time, I am out.